Welcome to Champion Minded, the podcast for those who aim for excellence, not only in the sports arena, but in life. My name is Allistair, author, speaker, mindset and performance coach, and my goal is to help you unleash your unlimited potential and provide you with the tools to achieve greatness. Are you ready to become champion minded? Then let's do this. Hey everybody, welcome to the Champion Minded podcast, or welcome back to the podcast. Good to have you along as always. I'm Allistair, your host, and this week I'm in Berlin, Germany. It's World Cup soccer time as well, so exciting time here to be in Germany, where they obviously won the last World Cup in 2014 in Brazil. So excitement here and a lot of tension. They didn't get off to the greatest of starts, where they lost to Mexico, but we'll see how it goes from here. But anyway, Berlin, one of my favorite cities. Good to be here. Always good energy, especially in the summer. If it's a city you haven't been to, then I really recommend it. So anyway, on this week's podcast, I'm going to be talking about the 10 things to quit if you want to get ahead. And I know any of you that listen to the podcast or subscribe to the podcast, thank you. I appreciate that on iTunes and also available on YouTube. This is a podcast about wanting to get better, about waking up each day and asking yourself, how can I get better today? People that listen to this podcast are invested in themselves. They want to get the most from themselves, and they're looking at ways to getting better. So a little compliment to you for making the effort and investing in yourself, making yourself better. So anyway, the 10 things to quit if you want to get ahead. Here we go. Number 1, procrastination. We've got to stop the procrastination, putting things off, putting them to the side, and letting other things get in the way. You know, one of the 8 components or 8 pillars of the champion-minded lifestyle is commitment. And that's when you commit to something, you set a goal or you set something you want to achieve, is that you commit to it and you don't allow yourself to procrastinate. And that's why it's so important to set goals, write goals down, and commit yourself to sticking to them. So, if you've got things in your life that you wanted to achieve, or bucket lists, or places you want to visit, things you want to do, then, do it now, because life can be very short, as we've seen, but stop procrastinating, stop putting things off. Make those a priority. Do what you can today. Stop putting things off. Stop making excuses as into why you can't do it. Number 2, self-doubt. Self-doubt robs you of your greatest life. Stop doubting yourself. You are enough. You have the potential. You have the greatness within you to achieve the lifestyle or the goals that you want. But obviously you've got to put the work in for it. But doubt is something that's to do with your thoughts and what you're saying to yourself on a daily basis. And here's the thing, is that you become what you say to yourself. So what you're saying to yourself on a daily basis really manifests itself in life. So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts or thinking back to the past or all the reasons why you can't do it instead of why you can do it, then that's something that needs to change in your life. Have you ever met people where you suggest something or you have an idea and they give you 10 things why it can't work, but you're thinking, well, here's the one reason why it can work. So remember, the world is changed not by the pessimists and not by the realists, but the world is changed by the optimists. So always something to keep in mind. But stop doubting yourself. You have the ability. If you want it enough, you're going to work hard enough for it. Number 3, comparing yourselves to others. Understand you are unique. There's no one that has the same DNA as you. There's no one that has the same or exact same upbringing as you, culture, all these things that make such a difference. We're all unique. So there's no point in comparing yourself. I always tell athletes that, stop comparing yourself to that other athlete, because there's physiological differences. There's the time they've maybe been on spending more time in the sport than you. They started earlier, so you can't compare your progress to somebody else's. We all have these unique differences. Just stay focused on what you're doing. Run your race. Stay on the path, and just do your best for today. Again, it's your journey. It's your unique journey. So you get to design it. You get to write your story. Every single day, you get to write a chapter. Number 4 in 10 Things to Quit If You Want to Get Ahead, the negative self-talk. What you say to yourself matters. You become what you say. Through our self-talk, we're either setting ourselves up for failure or we're setting yourself up for success. And you get to choose that. It's amazing how many negatives can go through our mind. And, our mindset and the way we think is a skill. And you've got to consciously practice that skill each day, just like you were practicing a golf swing or practicing a musical instrument, for example, is that you've got to continually practice your mindset. And especially with negativity, you've got to be able to catch yourself in the act and say, stop. All right, I'm going to say something positive, or I'm going to look for the solution in this thing instead of focusing on the negatives. So let's quit that negative self-talk. Number 5, worrying what others think. And here's the thing, who cares what others think? I can tell you right now that one of the most liberating things that can happen in your life is when you let go of what other people think. Again, it's your journey. It's not their journey. They don't have to understand it. Once you start worrying about what people think or the fears or the doubt you have, you can really start opening up those pathways in your life to greater success. And, if you're limiting yourself, you're holding yourself back by worrying what other people think. And here's the thing. People are going to have judgment or something about you anyway, regardless if you're doing well or not. And here's the thing. When you're doing well, expect to get criticized. Because in life, like it or not, you're going to have people, even some that you call friends, that aren't going to be happy for your success. And that's why it's so important to remember to constantly filter out bad influences in your life, negative people, negative influences, and really go your journey. So stop worrying about what others think and focus on what you're doing. Number 6, the fear of failure. On the 10 things if you want to quit to get ahead. Understand that failure is the path to success. If you ask any successful people, they'll tell you that they've failed multiple times over. But here's the thing that successful people know, is that their failures teach them the greatest lessons. And it's something that happened in my life as well, is when I changed my relationship with failure, that's when magical things started to happen, because I saw failure as an effort of trying and one more step closer to my greater goal and to success. Failure gives you knowledge. Failure teaches you how to get better. And something again that I tell a lot of athletes is that you never lose if you learn. So that was number 7, the fear of failure. Eliminate that. Number 7, wasting energy on people or things that don't push you forwards. Again, I take stock of people in my life on a every few weeks on my Facebook, my social media. I unfollow people that are negative. I'll unfollow things that are not helping me move forward in my life. Negative influences, negative energy, things that just don't help me get closer to my goals. I take assess of that every few weeks. I do what I call a clutter clean out. I assess the people I have around me. I assess the relationships. As selfish as it sounds, if it's not helping me become a better person, I have to change that. And sometimes it's not always easy. But, this is something that you need to eliminate from your life if you want to get ahead. So, take assessment of that. Number 8, the big one, excuses. Excuses that I don't have time. Excuses that I don't have the resources. Excuses that I'm not smart enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I didn't get a great education. Well, those are all just excuses. Every day you wake up, you get to decide what you want to do with your life, the direction you want to go. 2 most important things in your life are the people you surround yourself with and the environment you create. You're responsible for that. We might not be able to choose our family, but you're able to choose the environment you create, the environment you're in, and the people you surround yourself with. Excuses are simply that. They waste your time, they waste your energy, they get in the way of you living your greatest life. You know what the greatest excuse is? I don't have time. You know what that means really? Is that I don't care enough. The thing is, you will find time for the things you really want to do in life. And how often do we see it today? People spending so much time on social media, procrastinating, and saying they don't have enough time. That simply means you don't care enough about that one thing. You will always find time for the things you want to do. Understand this. Your past does not equal your future. What's happened before, what's happened yesterday, a week ago, a year ago, is in the past. But you can change the direction you want to go in your life from this day forward, and it's a choice. If you're feeling like the victim, you're always blaming circumstances, you're blaming your past, you're blaming people in your life, you're holding on to what things people have said in the past, well, you're just holding yourself back from setting yourself up for a fulfilling and successful life. Okay? And our final one, number 10 in the 10 things to quit if you want to get ahead, is poor habits. Again, important to take assessment of your life, what a day looks like for you. Where are you procrastinating? Where are you wasting time? Where are you putting energy that's not helping you? Poor habits. Are you having a poor breakfast in the morning? Are you hydrating poorly? The structure of your day, is that all haphazard, or you don't have any structure to your day? What about sugar? What about the intake of alcohol and things that aren't helping you become your best self? These are all poor habits that are not setting you up for success. Anything in life, you've got to ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me get further? And that's to do with people, that's to do with social media, that's to do with diet, that's to do with the things you watch on a daily basis, the people you follow on social media. Are they helping you move ahead, or are they things and poor habits that are holding you back? So a few things to consider for yourself in terms of creating the most successful, fulfilling, and happy life for yourself. So there you have it, guys. The 10 things to quit if you want to get ahead. Number 1 was procrastination. Number 2, self-doubt. Number 3, comparing yourselves to others. Number 4, negative self-talk. Number 5, worrying what other people think. Number 6, the fear of failure. Number 7, wasting energy on people and things that don't push you forwards. Number 8, excuses. Number 9, your past. And number 10, the poor habits. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Thanks so much for joining me. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with anyone who you might know would benefit from it, or who aims to create excellence in their life. Also, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe, and please leave a review. I would greatly appreciate that. And don't forget that this podcast is also available on YouTube. If you'd like to stay connected, I'm on social media at Twitter at Allistair McCall, Instagram, Be Champion Minded, Facebook, McCall Method, and if you'd like to leave a comment, share some feedback, then please email me at mccallmethod@aol.com. Also, big thanks to all of you who share my posts on social media under the hashtag ChampionMinded. I greatly appreciate it. So, until next week, remember you were made for greatness. Now go out and do the work. Until next time, stay champion-minded, my friends.